moun t'a dit encore pour m'expliquer l'amour ça. Les problèmes les menacer, sous m'compter, ou toujours vin secouer. Mais par contre qui ça m'tabaye, pour l'amour c'est moi. Les matristes découragés, c'est l'amour qui toujours kébé.
Okay, hi everyone. I'm back. We're gonna try this again. Let me know if you guys can hear me. But I think it should be fine. Okay, yay, it is fine. Okay. Hi everyone. Okay, round 2. If you're listening on the radio, I'm so sorry. But we're gonna have to restart the show just a little bit. We're not gonna do I'm not going to do the intro prayer again, but I will, actually, no, I'm not going to do the intro prayer again or the intro verse, but I will tell you guys the intro verse was Psalm 127 verse 1. So definitely, you guys know for the verse of the week, read it throughout the week. So it was Psalm 127 verse 1, but welcome in everyone. I apologize. We were having a bit of technical difficulties, but I just got feedback that the sound is back on and the sound is fine. So with that being said, I'm going to take a quick break again, and I'll be right back, and we're going to get into our first topic. All right, you guys, I'm back. So obviously you guys should know one thing about me. Clearly not tech savvy. Like I literally, me and technology do not go hand in hand at all. Literally don't know what I'm doing. Just a girl. But anyways, you guys, what I was talking about earlier before we had our technical difficulties, I was talking about how obviously Christians, we put such a great emphasis on fellowship. And if you were listening on just the radio app, then you heard me speaking briefly about this. And this is not our topic. It's just something that I was thinking about earlier today. But I find it so crazy that we put such an emphasis on fellowship, but we can't even fellowship with the people that live in our house. We can't even fellowship with our siblings. We can't fellowship with our parents. We can't fellowship. There's some couples who can't fellowship with each other. Sorry, guys, more technical difficulties, I'm assuming. But anyways, so I was just thinking, that is so crazy and funny to me how we expect to be able to do something here, but we can't do it in our homes, because all of that starts within the house. And I was thinking about that because I've been seeing a trend that's going around. And what the trend is, it's people setting a timer for an hour. And with that timer set, they can't do anything besides talk to whoever they choose to talk to for that hour. So there's no phones, no TV, no nothing. It's literally just you and the group of people you're around, or you and your spouse, you and your kids, you and your siblings. It doesn't matter. But it's literally just an hour of no interruption. And some people were saying how it's so difficult for them to do. And that is so crazy to me. And it was just making me think about how this generation, how we are literally, I think when it comes to fellowship with our families, we've been backsliding so bad, so terribly. So I just wanted to encourage people, in this year, in 2026, make room, make space for your family, like for your siblings, for your parents, if you're married, for your spouse. Make time, make that time, because there should be no reason why a family can't sit down and fellowship, like one interrupted hour of fellowship, like just talking with no technology, no nothing. That's just, I don't know, it just blows my mind how some people can't do that. And if you find yourself in the position and you can't do that, not good. However, it's not the end of the world. You definitely have time to solve that issue, but make it a priority in this year of 2026 to try to solve that, because I think that's very important. Because there's no way, like that for me, it's like it feels like a form of hypocrisy. Like, why, how do you, I don't know. It's like, why are you putting so much importance on fellowshipping with people at church and you're not putting the same importance of fellowshipping at home with your family? Do you guys see that? I don't know. Maybe I'm the only one who sees it as a form of hypocrisy, but that is really crazy to me. So you can't just only fellowship with your brothers and sisters in Christ, but make sure that you're also in fellowship with the people in your home. So make that time, create that space. And I challenge everybody, like this year, make it a priority to do that, because I think it will be obviously very healthy if you guys do. Okay, moving on. Let's see what time it is. It's already 7:26. Ugh, goodness. Anyways, okay. We have a little bit of time. We don't have much time due to the technical difficulties, but let's get into our topic. So our topic today is things that I wish I knew in my early 20s. You guys know I always have to have my little notebook. So if you see me looking down, I'm looking at my notes. Like I told y'all when the show was starting, I'm obviously not tech savvy. Me and technology do not go hand in hand. People look at me crazy because I'm always writing stuff down and I always have a notebook. And I have an iPad. It's not that I don't have an iPad. It's not that, you know, I just don't like using stuff like that. I rather just write things down. So anyways, I have my handy dandy notebook and I'm going to be reading a couple of things that I was writing down earlier when I was coming up with this topic. So things that I wish I knew in my early 20s. And if you know someone who's in their early 20s, share this to them. If you know any teenagers, share this to them too, because obviously they're going to be in their early 20s one day as well. So as I'm in the last year of my 20s, I'm in the very last year. I can't believe it. I'm 29 years old. I'm literally going to be 30 in that's like 9 months or so. I don't even want to think about it. I'm about to be 30, y'all, but I'm about to be 30. I'm in my last year of my 20s. And, you know, I was thinking about just being in my early 20s, and I was having a conversation with somebody earlier, and it made me reflect and think about things that I wish I knew when I was in my early 20s, and also advice that I have for people who's in their early 20s. Because I know when I was around that age, I wish I had more mentors. I wish I had more people around me. I am very thankful and blessed though for the people I did have around me in my early 20s, but sometimes I do wish there was more people, but that doesn't take away from the people that I did have. But anyways, I'm gonna get into the first thing. So first thing is first, things that I wish I knew in my early 20s and things that I'm sharing with you guys who are in your early 20s or heading towards your early 20s. I don't care what people say or what society tells you, but you need to figure out your life as soon as possible, because we live in a world where people will always try to say, oh no, you're young, oh you have time, oh you're only 20, you're only 22, you have time, you could think about that later. Do not listen to those people. Listening to those people, there's a lot of things that I did in my life. I did it because I was listening to people who were telling me, oh, you're young. Oh, you're so young. You have time to do this. You have time to do that. You don't have to try to figure things out now. Don't listen to them. Don't listen to them. Do not listen to them. Whatever it is that you want to accomplish, whatever it is that you think that you want to accomplish, write those things down and come up with ways for you to be able to accomplish those things. You need to know what you want your life to look like in like the next 5 to 10 years. Of course, you are not God. You can't dictate truly how your life goes. None of us know how our life is going to go. Really, we don't even know if we're going to wake up the next day. We don't. But that doesn't take away from the fact that you still need to really plan out your steps, plan out what you want your future to look like. If there's certain finance goals that you would like to see yourself being in when you're in your late 20s, your early 30s, that stuff starts out in your early 20s. If you want to be a homeowner in the next 5 to 10 years, start saving in your 20s. And I'm serious. If I knew the economy was going to be like this, I would have started saving for a house when I was 18. I was 18 years old when I first started working. And I can't even say 18 because my first job, quote unquote, I was in high school. I was maybe 15. And I was tutoring kids. Somebody hired me to tutor their children. That was my first job. And then when I was about, I will say 16 to 18 years old, I started doing hair. I was doing people's hair at my school. I was just doing hair. So that was another form of income. But I guess you could say my official job that I was filing my taxes with, I was 18. But had I known, if I could see into the future and I knew what I was going to be dealing with, I would have started saving money from the moment I started working. I would have looked into so many other financial avenues when I was younger. So don't ever, just because you're young, don't use that as an excuse to blow your money. Don't use that as an excuse to not be wise. Don't use that as an excuse for anything. If you plan on being, I don't know, a wife one day or a husband one day, you need to start navigating that in your early 20s. And I'm serious. If you know you have unresolved childhood trauma, go get a therapist, because you're not going to want to, have people in your extra baggage once you're married. You don't want to have kids in that childhood trauma baggage that you're carrying either. So literally in every aspect of your life, in your early 20s, you need to be working to figure yourself out. That is something that I would tell myself in my early 20s, and that's something that I wish I knew when I was in my early 20s. So do not listen to people who are telling you you have time, you're young. Those are very foolish words, foolish advice, and I do not recommend anyone listen to those people who's telling you you have time. No, you don't. Your 20s goes by so fast. Literally, I don't know, when I was a teenager, I feel like I was a teenager for a very long time. But my 20s, the way my 20s just flew by, every day I'm shocked. I feel like I just graduated high school the other day. And I'm going on, May will make it 11 years since I graduated high school. And it feels like the other day. So that just goes to show you all how fast your 20s go. So please, your 20s, not the time to play around, but it's definitely the time to pour into yourself and build yourself. Start building your life and take your life serious. Because if you don't take your life serious in your 20s, there's nothing worse than playing around all your 20s and now you're 30, 35 trying to get your life together. Trust me, because I know people like that. And every day they're regretting their decisions and they're regretting their choices. So please, 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 I urge you guys, if you're in your 20s, start building your life. Start mapping out what you want your life to look like in the next 5 to 10 years, because that is so crucial and so important. The next thing that I wish I knew in my early 20s and what I want you guys to know is education is important. Education is so important. We are living in a world where technology just rules everything. Social media rules everything. And it's like putting out a message that education is not important. You don't need school to be successful. You don't need certain resources to be successful. Please don't listen to people like that. Because I want you to really look around where you are and count on your fingers how many people you know are successful, I'm talking about people in your circle, people you know. How many people are successful, living comfortably? They have money to do what they want to do. How many people do you know like that around you who didn't go to school and didn't do anything with their lives? Not much. I know there's people like, what's that boy's name? I Show Speed. And then there's Kai Cenat. There's, these streamers, these social media influencers. They have everybody wanted to be a social media influencer. Everybody can't be a social media influencer. Go get an education, please. And when I say get an education, I don't mean like go to college, go to university, because I'm a firm believer. I always say this: college, university, stuff like that is not for everybody. And I know there's a lot of people, they don't like when people say that, but it's true. There's some people, if you send them to college, it's a waste of time. There's some people, they're better off going to the army. The army does have college, but anyways, there's some people, they're better with like hands-on stuff. There's some people that would be better off if you send them to a police academy. There's some people, traditional school's not good for them. It's not going to benefit them. There's some people, they're better off at trade school. They're better off learning a trade. They're better off. There's so many programs where you could get free certifications. They're better off just getting a quick free certification and building a career out of that. But what's important is that is a form of education. Education is not you just going to college. So I don't want you guys to think that education is something you have to go to school for 4 years. You have to go get a degree of some sort. No, there's other things that you can do. It's when you're learning, it's education, period, point blank. You may not be in a traditional school setting, but it's still a form of education. So please go to school, go to school, or go do something. But you have to have a plan B. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm not saying it's impossible to blow up on social media and get money from social media. People do it all the time. Not many people, but people do it all the time. However, it's still important. Even if you were to blow up on social media, you'll still have to have a backup plan, because things like that, although they could be lucrative for a while, it's not going to be lucrative for your whole entire life. Because I'm telling you, as someone who is 29 now, the people who were popular on YouTube when I was 13 are not popular anymore, because there's a time for everything. Even the Bible tells us that. So let's say you make it big on YouTube now. You're probably not going to be big in the next 5 to 10 years. That happens. I'm literally thinking about all the YouTube people who I knew were so popular when I was in high school. And now when they're posting videos, these are people, when they posted videos, millions of views. Now when they're posting videos, they're getting like 1,000 views. Do you know how crazy that is, to go from making like 7 million views on a video to about 1,000, 2,000? And think about what's happening to their money. So do not put all your eggs in one basket. It makes no sense to neglect your education. It makes no sense to neglect important things to go chase something that is temporary, because that's what a lot of people find themselves doing. So do not do that. Prioritize education. Learn something. I don't care what you guys go and learn, but make sure whatever that you learn, it's something that can carry your finances, something that can help you be a successful citizen in society. So please value your education. We're going to get to our next point, which is listen to your parents. And I know when I said that, a lot of people are like, ugh, I don't want to listen to my parents. Please listen to your parents. Please listen to your parents. I was younger once too. I was in my early 20s, obviously, as well. So I was there, been there, done that. I know sometimes it may seem annoying. I know when they're talking in your head, you're like, oh, be quiet. Stop talking to me. Stop bothering me. But I will say 90% of the time, your parents are right. And I do have to speak to the Haitian kids, the Haitian American kids, for a bit. I understand the frustration, because like I said, I've been there. But once you get older, you're going to understand what your parents were talking about. You're going to understand what your parents were warning you about. You're going to understand everything, and it's going to make you appreciate them so much. I always tell like the younger kids around me, those who I mentor, I always tell them, I know you don't want to hear it, but your parents are right. And you're not going to notice it now. You're not going to appreciate it now, but they're right. And especially the disciplinary parent, the parent that actually does really puts their foot down in the household. That's the parent that's always going to bother you the most. But that's the parent, once you're older, you're going to have such a deep respect for that parent, a deep appreciation for that parent, because they were right. They're right about the friends. They're right about the choices that you're making. 9 times out of 10, I'm not saying they're always right, but 90% of the time they are right. So listen to your parents. They're there to help you. They're there to guide you. Do I understand some parents don't always have the best delivery? Yes. There's some parents, when they're talking, their delivery is not always the best. But I will tell you, it's coming from a place of love. So when you find yourself in the early stage of life, listen to your parents. Next thing, ask for help. Please don't try to do things by yourself. You know absolutely nothing. You may think you know what you're talking about. And it's so funny. It's so funny just to know that I was once in that position. Because now when I'm listening to like adults in their early 20s, 20, 21, 22, when I hear them talking, sometimes I'm just laughing because they don't know what they're talking about. You guys don't know what you're talking about. It's like they think being grown is easy. They think being an adult is easy. They think having responsibilities is easy. Let me tell you, you're going to get to the point, you're going to get to an age where you're going to wish you were 2 years old again. You're going to wish you were 5 years old again. You're going to wish you were a little kid filled with innocence, not knowing a thing. You're going to get to a certain age where you're going to, trust me, you're going to wish you were a child again. Because being an adult is not what you guys think it is. Being a responsible adult is not what you think it is. And there's so much that you guys need to learn. There's so much that you guys need to know. So don't try to do things by yourself. If you find yourself in a situation and you need help, you need to reach out and ask for help, whether that's a mentor, whether that's a trusted adult, whether it's your pastor, whether it's whoever it may be. It could even be your parents, but you need to have someone in your inner circle who can help you, who can guide you, who can teach you things, who can sit you down and say, hey, what you're about to do is really dumb, or hey, what you're about to do is actually really good. But you need that guidance when you're in your early 20s. Don't try to think that you could do it by yourself, because you definitely can't do it by yourself. And when you try to do things by yourself, it goes downhill. Take it from me. Been there, done that. Ask for help. Just make sure that whoever you're asking for help is someone who can actually help you, and someone who is wise, someone who is knowledgeable. Because I will say this as well. There's some people, just because they're older than you, it doesn't mean that they know better. There's some people in their 40s, their 50s, their 60s acting like 19-year-olds. So whoever that you choose to help you on your journey, just make sure that they're knowledgeable. Make sure that they're going to give you advice that they would give their own children or give someone that they care about. So also, when you're picking someone to help you, just make sure that person qualifies. The next thing, people will be in and out of your life for quite a while. In your early 20s, you're going to have so many different friendships, so many different relationship dynamics, and it's okay when people leave your life. It's okay if your circle starts to change. It's okay if you're not friends with so-and-so anymore. And trust me, you guys will see, especially after high school, having friends is really awkward, and it's really weird because, you know, after high school, you try to keep in touch with your high school friends. It doesn't work out, and that's okay because everyone's figuring themselves out. And then you go to college. Some people find it a bit harder to make friends in college, especially if they don't live on campus. And that's okay as well. This is 100% normal. It doesn't make you strange. It doesn't make you weird. You're just going through the early 20s transition that everyone goes through. So get used to people coming in and coming out of your life. Because honestly, life doesn't really start to get stable in your 20s until you're like secured in your career and you're going to work. If you work a 9 to 5 and you're going to work and you're seeing the same people every single day. Until you like have some sort of stability, that's kind of how it is. Like people are going to be in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. Because I'm thinking about myself and all the friendships I had in my early 20s. People who were like the people who I was really close to in my early 20s, I don't even talk to them anymore. And it's just part of life. So you're going to have friends who come and go. You're going to have relationships that come and go. You might have a boyfriend, couple boyfriends that come and go, couple girlfriends that come and go, and it's fine. It's just part of life. It's part of your early 20s. So never think that there's something wrong with you. It's totally okay if your friendships just seem like it's people coming and going, and it's fine because obviously that's the age where people are finding themselves. So if they find themselves out of your life, it's okay. There's nothing to worry about. It's literally life. The next thing, you guys, life isn't a competition. I know when you're in your early 20s, sometimes, especially social media, that's why I'm really not a fan of social media, because people live such a double life because no one ever shows the bad. They all show the good. So because people are always showing the good, other people see what other people are doing and they start doubting themselves. They start to think that they're not doing enough. So now you're competing with other people, and you don't have to do that. In life, we all have our own journey, and on our journey, we all go at our own pace. If someone's pace seems to pick up a little bit quicker than you, it's fine. If someone's life seems to be a bit further along than you, that's fine as well. There's not a reason to make a big thing out of it and start to question what you're doing. As long as you know you're doing what you need to do, you're in school, you're figuring your life out, you're getting to your goals, you have things planned out. That's the only thing that you need to be worried about. You don't need to be worried about who's already getting married. You don't need to be worried about why you're still single. You don't have to be worried about who's already graduating with their master's degree. Don't let those things worry you, because when you do start to let it worry you, it's going to start to eat at your self-esteem. You need to worry on you. You need to focus on you, because those people who are posting their accomplishments online, they have their own stuff that they're dealing with within themselves. They might be posting a degree, but who knows? Their account may be in the negatives. Everyone has their own stuff that they're dealing with. There's not anyone on earth who doesn't have something that they're facing. So just because they're posting the good, don't let that fool you and make you think that this person is living such a great life, and you start to become envious of the person and jealous of the person. There is no need for that. So take your time and just worry about yourself on your journey. Don't worry about anyone else. Just worry about yourself on your journey. Well, you guys, it is 7:49, which means that is it. I'm about to wrap up. I hope you guys all learned something, especially those in your early 20s, because it was obviously geared for you guys. And those are some things, like I said, those are things that I wish I knew in my early 20s. Because if I could turn back the hand of time, there's not much I would change. I will say that. I don't think there's much I would change in my early 20s. I feel like the number one thing I would have done for real, you guys, I would have started saving my money early. Because the economy, if I knew the economy was going to be this bad, I'm telling you, I would have started saving in kindergarten, pre-K, I'm for real. Like when people give you money for your birthday when you're a little kid, well, that wasn't even my responsibility to save that money. It was my parents. So now I'm gonna go ask my parents what they did with all my birthday money, because I don't ever recall getting any birthday money when I was a kid. What did y'all do with my money? Because they should have been saving that money for me. So I probably would have been in a better position. Anyways, you guys, I love you all so very much, and I will see you guys next Monday, same time, 7 p.m. and hopefully there's not going to be any technical difficulties. Fingers crossed. But I love you guys. Bye. Mwah.